India's ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP, has released its first list of candidates for the upcoming general elections of India. Prominent leaders including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Ministers have been announced as part of this first list. PM Modi will once again be contesting from Varanasi, while BJP party president Amit Shah will be contesting from Gandhi Nagar. Notably, the current MP of Gandhi Nagar is BJP's veteran leader LK Advani. The party did not name Advani in the list at all. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will contest from Lucknow. Despite losing to Rahul Gandhi last time around, Textile Minister Smriti Irani will be contesting from Amethi again. Most union ministers will be contesting from their present constituencies. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari will contest from Nagpur, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore from Jaipur, Kiran Rijiju from Arunachal West, Anant Kumar Hegde from Uttar Kannada and Mahesh Sharma from Gautam Budh Nagar. The list was announced by Health Minister JP Nadda.
भारत के प्रधानमंत्री, यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी आप वाराणसी से चुनाव लड़ेंगे और हमारे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष श्री अमित भाई शाह आप गांधीनगर से चुनाव लड़ेंगे। इसी के साथ साथ लखनऊ से आदरणीय राजनाथ सिंह जी जो हमारे पूर्व अध्यक्ष हैं वो चुनाव लड़ेंगे और नागपुर से पूर्व अध्यक्ष श्री नितिन जयराम गडकरी जी वह चुनाव लड़ेंगे।
That announcement coming in before the show began. Lots to read in from the names that have been announced. It was expected that Prime Minister Modi's constituency could be changed from the previous Varanasi. We have our political editor Kartikeya Sharma now joining us on the phone. And Kartikeya, Prime Minister Modi to again contest from Varanasi. Kartikeya, if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
So there was talk about how Prime Minister Modi might not be contesting from Varanasi this time around, but it's Varanasi again.
See, I would say the biggest news is that LK Advani has been dropped from Gandhi Nagar. The co-founder of Bharatiya Janata Party in 1980, the reinvented avatar of Bharatiya Jansangh, has been dropped from Gandhi Nagar. LK Advani was Deputy Prime Minister under Vajpayee, 91-year-old, who led the Ram Janambhoomi Andolan, because of which the BJP, catapulted from 2 seats in 1984 to 89 seats in Lok Sabha, has been retired from electoral politics. I think today is a big day of transition in Bharatiya Janata Party. Atal Bihari Vajpayee is no more. LK Advani has been retired. And look at the first list. 85 years old, Murli Manohar Joshi's name has not been cleared from Kanpur, which means the party is still thinking about it. Menka Gandhi, daughter-in-law of Indira Gandhi, husband of Sanjay Gandhi, has not been able to make it in the first list. She was someone who had been fighting against the Gandhis continuously and went to Bharatiya Janata Party. Varun Gandhi is not in the first list. So, these are major takeaways of this announcement by JP Nadda, the person minister in charge of health and in charge of Uttar Pradesh. And I would also say that look at the symbolism. Gandhi Nagar, BJP seat, and Amit Shah, as member of Rajya Sabha, has been handed over to Amit Shah by Bharatiya Janata Party. Gandhi Nagar is not a soft seat. It's the citadel of Bharatiya Janata Party. It's a seat which LK Advani held is going to him. So I would say that the transition which BJP was witnessing from 2014 onwards is coming to an end. You will find that it was not the Vajpayee's team if they come back to power again. It will be completely Narendra Modi's team in power in case or if they win the elections.
Kartikeya Sharma, political editor, joining us in understanding what this list is all about. Yes, one big headline coming from it. Veteran leader, co-founder LK Advani is not part of the list, and other veteran leaders are also not a part of the list. We have Mr. Shastri Ramachandran now joining us here in the studios as well for this big news that has broken this holy day. Thank you so much for being with us. Interesting list, so many observations. One is the fact that I was talking about, there was talk of Prime Minister Modi changing his constituency for strategic reasons, but that didn't happen. And the other big story being the fact that Mr. LK Advani is not part of this list at all.
Yes, I think the biggest surprise in the list is Mr. LK Advani, who is only one of two founding members of the BJP. The other being former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who is passed away. So in fact, Mr. LK Advani, former Deputy Prime Minister in the government of A.B. Vajpayee, is the only surviving founding member of the party, and he is not on the list in Gandhi Nagar, from where he had contested before. In his place, the party has chosen to field one of its biggest heavy hitters, Mr. Amit Shah, who is the President and member of the Rajya Sabha. Otherwise, there are, I suppose, more surprises to follow, but what one notices at a quick glance is that Varun Gandhi, who is the son of Mrs. Menka Gandhi, the Union Minister, is not on the list, and neither is Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi, who is also part of the Margadarshak Mandal, in which Mr. Advani
I was about to get that. The fact that both LK Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi, is sort of in the same league or caliber of BJP leaders not being part of this list is also sending a signal to, probably BJP is moving on from its past and it's looking to, change the way things were done for a long time.
Well, it is BJP 2.0.
2.0, so to speak,
yes.
yeah.
So I suppose they'll have to prepare for new battles ahead, and some of the bigger battles will be not only during the election campaign, but after that too. But I think it's too, maybe a day or few days early to say that Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi will not be in the list. I think we should
wait and watch, because at the end of the day, it's the first list. They've also clarified it as the first list, but also the positions being taken, all major union ministers retaining their existing constituencies, including the Prime Minister himself, Prime Minister Modi. That is sort of imposing, in a way, feeling the confidence that at least the top leadership of the BJP, the ones who are good enough to continue being union ministers after all the many cabinet shuffles, will be able to win again.
Yes, they seem to be quite confident, because you have Mr. Modi not only seems to have killed all speculation of his moving away from Varanasi, but you have Mr. Rajnath Singh also from Lucknow. You have General VK Singh also again contesting from Ghaziabad.
Right. Please stay with us, Mr. Ramachandran. We also have our political editor Kartikeya Sharma with us on the phone. And Kartikeya, I wanted to discuss the other part of this as well, apart from the fact that Mr. LK Advani is missing from this first list. Is the fact that union ministers have retained their constituencies and Smriti Irani gets to have another go at the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi.
See, just to, conclude the point, which you were discussing with Mr. Sastry Ramachandran, BJP has retired one co-founder and former president of Bharatiya Janata Party, LK Advani, and it has not taken a call or another BJP party president who served as a party president, Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi. Both of them have served as party presidents. So, one party president is retired, that the call on the other party president has not been taken, who wants to contest the election. Now, if you look at the larger, deployment of the candidates, you will find that majority of them have been retained in Uttar Pradesh, but quite some other but there have been some tweaking which have taken place. For example, the Dalit phase from Agra, Mr. Katheria has been dropped. But then you will find that Mr. Tamta from Uttarakhand, VK Singh from Ghaziabad, or Mahesh Sharma from Noida, Rajavardhan Rathore from Jaipur.
Or for the matter, Anand Kumar Hegde in Karnataka, or the Tamil guy Saundar Rajan from Tamil Nadu. Absolutely. And for example, the candidates which he announced from other parts of the states have been retained, like Babul Supriyo from Asansol. So there are a lot of candidates who have been retained from their seats. Couple of Arjun Meghwal from Bikaner retained. But there some strategic thinking has gone into this. They have not dropped as many candidates as people felt they would be. Yes, I would say that the real drastic which BJP has done is in Chhattisgarh, where they are going to completely clear the slate for new candidates, because 10% vote loss, BJP blames the entire machinery for it. But I would like to draw your attention to another point, which is also very, very interesting, which you asked me in the first place. Prime Minister has retained Varanasi. He has not chosen to fight from the second constituency. Last time around, Prime Minister fought from two constituencies, then retained Varanasi. This time around, Prime Minister's name has been announced from Varanasi only. And, the talk of Prime Minister contesting from Puri and leaving Varanasi, I think it has been done away with.
And secondly, they have cleared all their 17 seats
Right.
with JDU, which is also an important development.
Right.
But I would say that the BJP, if you look at the seats in Northeast, whatever they announced, there is a problem there because of citizenship amendment bills. There is great organizational hemorrhaging which is taking place in Northeast, and somehow BJP has done a self-goal for themselves in Northeast, a state where they could have swept minimum of 18 seats, but now it is very, very problematic for them.
Right, Kartikeya, stay with us. We also have RK Upadhyay, senior journalist, joining us on the phone and from Bengaluru. RK Upadhyay, thank you so much for joining us. Talk to us. What do you read from this first list from the BJP?
Well, as Kartikeya was just mentioning, I think the big story of the day is that Mr. LK Advani is not going to contest. So probably it's the end of his political career, and probably rightly so because he's 90 plus, and Amit Shah has come in his place. I mean, that's very interesting because it's going to be his first Lok Sabha election. So I think as far as the, they have made a very, very interesting changes in their, strategies. They have not, of course, released all the seats for all the states with partial, seats for various states like Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Karnataka, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Maharashtra, Kerala, Odisha, Arunachal. And I think they have not yet touched all the seats in Northeast. And interestingly, Bihar, they had won 22 seats last time, but they made a sacrifice, for in the interest of alliance with the JDU.
Right.
And they're contesting only 17 seats this time. And they've given the list to,
Right.
the allied partner to release it in Bihar.
Fair enough.
So in Maharashtra,
I want to ask you about Smriti Irani. The fact that Smriti Irani has been fielded in Amethi again.
I think that was very much on the cards that she'll be taking on Rahul Gandhi. And the very fact that the Prime Minister went there to inaugurate this, armaments factory there recently, with Smriti Irani very much being there. It's going to be a great contest in Amethi. But they have not yet announced a candidate for Rai Bareli. That's interesting because Sonia Gandhi will still have to see who her opponent is going to be in UP.
All right, RK Upadhyay, senior journalist, joining us. We also have Shastri Ramachandran joining us here in our studios. Shastri Ramachandran, interesting observation, the fact that there is a candidate announced by the BJP for Amethi, but not for Rai Bareli. And the candidature of Smriti Irani itself, how would you read it?
I'm not surprised at all that Union Minister Smriti Irani has been fielded from Amethi. In fact, there didn't seem to be any doubt that she would be back in the fray from the same constituency. What needs to be now looked for is whether Rahul Gandhi, who is likely to be the Congress party's candidate, will also contest from another constituency, probably from the south, as is being widely speculated.
From the south. Right. If I were to ask you, we're talking about Prime Minister Modi's name being announced for one constituency and not two, like the last elections. Do you see his name coming up in other lists, as we've been saying?
Well, they have announced only 184 candidates in today's list, and it is still wide open whether the name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi will come up in the second list. But they are clearly throwing big challenges in the south, particularly in Karnataka, where they have fielded Umesh Jadhav against the Congress party's leader, who is the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge. That is one of the fights to watch for. And the other person whom they have fielded in Karnataka is Shobha Karandlaje Chikmagalur. And Karnataka is perhaps the most important of the southern states from where the BJP would be fighting, because as early as 1989, the BJP had scored a spectacular vote share in Karnataka, which was far higher than what they got in Uttar Pradesh.
And if I may add, probably the only South Indian state where the BJP has a fighting chance. Because as far as Tamil Nadu and Andhra and Kerala is concerned, it gets progressively difficult for the BJP.
No, I would in fact go further than calling it a fighting chance. I think the BJP's best prospects in the south, and I wouldn't be surprised if they enter double digits in Karnataka for the 28 seats that are at stake. They have fielded heavyweights in the other states too. And I just saw from the list that we have Union Minister for Tourism, K.J. Alphonse, who will be contesting from Ernakulam. And we have Tamil Isai Soundararajan, who is the president of the BJP in Tamil Nadu. She will be contesting from Tuticorin, which was recently in the news because of the
Sterlite copper smelting plant.
Yes, the issue there at that Vedanta, this thing. And that's going to be a very, very high-profile contest between two women, because her strongest opponent would probably be Kanimori, who is the daughter of
and an
Mr.
alliance
M.
partner.
Karunanidhi.
And an alliance partner as well. So,
Yes.
in a sense, that in the south, it's going to be then the alliance that the BJP has struck with the AIA-DMK. That's going to, sort of, in a way, face it off against the DMK as well, especially going with the way the things are panning out in Tuticorin.
Yes. See, the DMK, the AIA-DMK BJP alliance follows more or less the pattern of the Congress party and the DMK, or the Congress party and the AIA-DMK. The BJP has managed to score a large number of seats in Tamil Nadu, surprisingly large, which means perhaps the AIA-DMK sees that its own prospects of leading the alliance to a larger number of seats is strengthened by giving so many seats to the BJP. That could be one optimistic reading of the arrangement.
Right, that's an optimistic reading, as you put it, Shasi Ramchandran. Please stay with us. We also have Neerja Chaudhary, another senior journalist, joining us here on this broadcast as we continue to bring you more and more in-depth analysis of the BJP's first list of candidates for the elections. Neerja Chaudhary, thank you so much for taking time out. Lots of things to read from this list. What, according to you, is the big headline?
I would say Amit Shah contesting for the Lok Sabha from Gandhi Nagar, which was a LK Advani seat, is the big headline. The rest is more or less unexpected lines. Now, Mr. Shah is part of the Rajya Sabha and not too long ago entered the upper house. So, obviously, fighting for the lower house from his own home state shows that if Mr. Modi is back in power, which is likely, then Amit Shah will have an even larger role. Maybe the Home Minister of India, but certainly a larger role. And that, to me, is the big message. And those of the Margdarshak Mandali, Mr. Advani is certainly out. And there's no news on Dr. Murli Manoj Joshi and some of the senior people. Of course, Sushma Swaraj had anyway said she will not contest. Of course, Arun Jaitley's name also is not there. So, and of course, Smriti Irani taking on Rahul Gandhi, Malika Arjun. They're really taking on the big wigs of the opposition with their heavyweights. So it's going to be a real contest, and not unexpectedly, the BJP is showing a will to power again. And I mean, as I said, we had expected this.
We had expected this, is the word coming in from Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist. Shasi Ramachandran, you would agree with that largely. We had expected this kind of a list, mostly on expected lines, apart from the odd and the big surprise, the biggest surprise, which is the seat of Gandhi Nagar, which will now be contested by Amit Shah.
I think the first list is as much a signal of intentions that would follow. And it's not only about the names and what they signal, but there is a clear message here that no matter how heavy a personality might be in the party, that the party will finally take a call based on its political chances, one, and based on where it wants to go from here. So that may explain why it has dropped Mr. LK Advani.
And no sign of Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi.
Yes.
Because, but then we'll still say that this is the first list. We've got 2 to 3 more lists to go. But highly unlikely that the tenor set by this list will be wavered off in the second
But
and
this
third
is
list.
also political theatre, so they want to keep an element of suspense. And I think every party likes to do that when the election. They would like to keep the candidates as well as the opposition contenders on tenterhooks.
Right, Shasi Ramachandran joining us. We also have Neerja Chaudhary still with us on the phone. And Neerja Chaudhary, while this list is on expected lines, the big headlines is what essentially shapes the kind of list it is, which is that there is no sign of Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi, there is no sign of LK Advani, which means that this is well and truly BJP 2.0.
Yeah, I think, of course, the old order gives way to new. That's in the shape of things to come anywhere. But I don't know whether they were, LK Advani and Dr. Joshi were asked whether they wanted to contest, or this is a decision that was taken by the party. That, of course, is not clear. And Rahul Gandhi will all face, Smriti Irani gave him a tough fight last time, but he also has the support of the Samajwadi Party and the BSP this time. Their Mahagathbandhan in UP has left those two seats uncontested for the Congress, whereas there is no tie-up otherwise with the Congress. So, yes, it's a question mark whether Rahul Gandhi will also stand from a second seat somewhere in the south, which is being talked about.
Yes.
And it's interesting that Mr. Modi is contesting only from Varanasi, unlike last time. So, obviously, there is greater confidence this time.
Yeah,
that was the case in 2014.
Right, and as you've been saying, Neeraj Chaudhary, this is the first list. There is every single possibility that Prime Minister Modi's name could be announced in the second and third list for another constituency. Shastri Ramachandran concurs with me on that one. We also have RK Upadhyay, senior journalist, still with us on the phone line from Bengaluru. RK Upadhyay, we will just come to you in a second. Mr. Shastri Ramachandran wants to add to what he's been saying.
I think there is also a message here in Mr. Baijayant Panda from the Biju Janata Dal, who recently joined the BJP in being fielded from Kendrapara in Orissa. This is also a kind of a carrot that is being dangled to other candidates who may be waiting in the wings from other parties. And we have from Tamil Nadu also Mr. Pon Radhakrishnan, who is a union minister, and we should take note that I didn't mention the constituency that Umesh Jadhav will be facing off against Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge in Gulbarga, which is a reserved constituency, SC.
Right, Shastri Ramachandran, stay with us. Let me take this across to RK Upadhyay. RK Upadhyay, veteran leaders not in the mix anymore. Smriti Irani is set to have a go again in Amethi. Prime Minister Modi's name only on one constituency at this point in time. What are the chances that you would see his name in another constituency come the second or third lists?
Well, probably not. I feel that this time Mr. Modi might stick to just one constituency. Last time he wanted to enter, Uttar Pradesh to, influence the voters there, which he had done, and apart from contesting from his own home state. But this time he might just, stick to one constituency, that is Varanasi. I would like to make some points about Karnataka. See, Karnataka is the only state where BJP has any great chance of winning the number of seats. They already have 17 this time, and with JDS and Congress going together for the first time and taking on BJP, it's going to be a huge challenge that they are facing. Because when the assembly elections happen, if you add up the number of votes that the Congress and JDS got, they came to 52% compared to 42% for the BJP. Of course, the parliamentary elections are going to be totally different from the assembly, and it's not just a question of arithmetic in the Lok Sabha elections. So BJP is hoping that they will be able to retain with the 16 or 17 seats they have. And one more interesting thing is, Janata Dal, that is JDS, is putting up Mr. Devegowda as well as two of grandsons. I mean, it's already announced that one grandson will be contesting from Hassan, which Mr. Devegowda has vacated, to his elder son, Revana's son, that is Prajwal Revana.
Right.
And Mandya seat has been given to Nikhil, who is Mr. Kumaraswamy's son. So these two grandsons are already there, but Mr. Devegowda yet to choose his constituency.
Right.
So he knows where he will go, and it is speculated that he might go to Tumkur, which is a Congress candidate there. Congress has offered that seat to JDS, and we'll have to wait and see whether he will go to Tumkur or he will go to Bangalore North. That's also another possibility.
So many possibilities at this point in time. RK Upadhyay, senior journalist, joining us with that perspective on the seat allocation in Karnataka from Bengaluru. Thank you so much, RK Upadhyay. Thank you so much, Neeraj Chaudhary, for joining us. And of course, our political editor, Karthikeya Sharma, and Shastri Ramachandran joining us here in our studios. Thank you so much for putting the BJP's first list into perspective.